If you ever ask yourself why you always attract the wrong guys, or how to stop attracting toxic relationships or fake friends, it can make you believe that you're a narcissist magnet and there's nothing you can do about it. But the reality is that most narcissists want to feel good about themselves, so they gravitate towards people who will make that happen. And if you're the person they see as having all these traits, to the narcissist, it's like you're walking around with this big sign saying, easy target. So today, let's talk about how to stop attracting toxic relationships. If you're new to my channel, I'm Sue Blackhurst and I bring the world of social psychology into everyday language. I post videos every Monday and Thursday, so if you want to understand why people behave the way they do, subscribe to my channel now and get weekly insights into the fascinating world of human behaviour. And if you have been affected by a toxic relationship and feel that you're ready to rebuild your mental strength, there is no better time to start my Overcome Obstacles training programme. It's got everything you need to let go of a toxic past and move on. Each day I will give you the tools that you need to help you find out what is stopping you finding happiness and freedom. It costs less than a new haircut and it's even more uplifting. And you can access the programme by downloading my free book on how to reframe self-critical thoughts. The link is in the description box below. First of all, we all have the ability to make our own choices, and you need to remind yourself that you are not a puppet on a string under the control of some evil puppeteer. Every type of relationship consists of two people, each of whom bring their own dreams and visions for the future, along with all the baggage of past experiences. So even if you can't physically walk away from a family member or relative, what treatment you choose to accept or not is totally up to you. When meeting a narcissist, they will come across as chatty, witty, and they'll draw you into this vision of an exciting and wonderful world with them. So it's really easy to fall under this, initial charm, and you're no fool for doing this. Why wouldn't you? But the critical moment occurs when you notice certain behaviours that make you feel uneasy because they need to be the centre of attention, they ignore your feelings and they demand all your admiration. At this point, everybody is at the same stage or on a level playing field, but more crucially, it's at this point that people have two choices. They either stick around blinded by these bright lights, or they politely disengage themselves from the relationship, foreseeing nothing but emotional pain, catering for their new friend or colleague's needs. So it's not that you attract more narcissists than other people. The fact is that you are, more than likely the type of person that is subconsciously decided to stick around. It's a bit like you're always giving them the benefit of the doubt. But if these warning signs are overlooked or ignored, by the time their behaviour really starts to affect your life, you're just too far into the relationship to simply walk away, finding yourself at some stage down the line needing to learn how to let go and move on. And you can always have a look at this video here if you need that question answering. So rather than focusing on the narcissist, let's look today at what you might be doing that makes them part of your life for longer than they're welcome. I used to live in Spain and I remember eating half a melon, and being from the UK, thought nothing of leaving the other half on the kitchen worktop whilst I ate it. And by the time I went back into the kitchen, the remaining half of the melon was covered in ants. The UK bit isn't about leaving food out on the kitchen worktop, it's about us having a lack of ants. Anyway, the moral of the story being, once I realised what the ants were attracted to, all I needed to do was remove what they wanted or fed off to stop them from coming back. So if you don't want to be a melon, let's take a look at what you do and what makes you so attractive to the narcissist. The forgiver. Let's face it, if you walked away at the first sign of abusive behaviour, the narcissist wouldn't have anyone to play with, so they need somebody who will stick around and forgive and forget. But every time you forgive them, you are allowing the narcissist to just keep on pushing the boundary of the abuse they inflict upon you until the day comes when you either break or find the strength to walk away. You see, narcissists seek out people who will forgive them for their actions. It doesn't stop them from behaving the way they do. It just means that they know they can get away with it. Let's look at it this way. If you could walk into any supermarket and fill your trolley with the day's shopping and then walk out without anybody saying or doing anything about it, wouldn't you continue to always shop and go to that same supermarket? Well, for the narcissist, they continue to treat you the way that they do because they know they can get away with it without any consequence. So going back to the shop, once they find the strength to stop you in your tracks, telling you that you can no longer walk out with whatever you want, you're going to leave and move on to find somewhere that's going to let you get away with it, and the narcissist is no different. So you need to stop forgiving unacceptable behaviour. Stand by what you know is right or wrong, as forgiving abusive behaviour once gives them permission to do it again. Unconditional loyalty. Wanting loyalty in any relationship, be it a partner, family member, friend or relative, isn't unusual. And if we're completely honest, the majority of relationships actually need it to survive. However, a narcissist isn't looking for mere loyalty. They require unconditional loyalty. So they will seek out and pursue the people who are either already an easy target or those who are easy to train. But it's never going to be fair, as it's more like, one rule for them and one rule for another, as the narcissist expects you to remain unconditionally loyal to them whilst they are allowed to behave and do whatever they like without any comment, questioning or reprimand from yourself. It may sound like a harsh analogy, but imagine having a dog in the house and you make that dog sit in the corner or stay off the furniture, or they're not allowed to go upstairs, whilst you walk in with muddy shoes and make more mess than the dog would ever do. Well, this is the same mindset that the narcissist has over you, because they're going to expect you to follow the rules and to do exactly as they say, whilst they still have the freedom to act as they like, seeing every situation or event as being their territory, so their rules. It's time to stop behaving like a loyal pet, doing what you are told to do in the false belief that you're just keeping the peace and being that loyal friend or partner. Try looking at the relationship like, you're an outsider looking in, and ask yourself if what you see is normal and acceptable. I remember a past relationship of mine where something totally irrelevant happened, and he told me to sit on this chair and not to move until he gave me permission to. And guess what? I ended up doing exactly as I was told. I actually slept on that chair all night. But it wasn't because I was afraid, it's because it made for an easier life. And it's only now when I look back that I shake my head in total disbelief that I could have ever been so loyal. And I know now that if I met that same person again and heard that same request, there would be a totally different response from myself. And I'm just sorry that I didn't see it back then. So if you could fast forward 5 years and then look back on today, what would your future self tell yourself to do? Overlooking the bad. Do you ever find yourself making excuses for the narcissist behaviour? Maybe you're at an event and they start treating you badly in front of other people, and afterwards your true friend questions, why do you allow it? Do you then just laugh along with it and tell them, oh, it's nothing and they were only joking? If it's a partner, maybe you overlook their bad temper because, they bought you flowers last week. Or maybe it's one of the in-laws who constantly puts you down, but then offers to look after the children, making you feel guilty for having such negative thoughts towards them. It can often take time to see what others see, as we want to believe the dream and we don't want to accept the reality. So the narcissist will be attracted to those that they can sell the dream to, and they won't see the truth of how they are really being treated. A narcissist can only survive with somebody who overlooks the bad in them, because it not only ensures that you stick around providing them with the oxygen they need, but the narcissist just doesn't see the bad in themselves. So in their mind, neither should you. There is an expression out there that says, wake up and smell the coffee. And in this situation, it couldn't be more true. As once you do, it's like you've just woken up from this hypnotic trance and you look back disbelieving that you were ever accepted so much for so long. Having an external locus of control. Locus of control is a psychological concept that refers to how strongly people believe they have control over the situations and experiences that affect their lives, and it can be either internal or external. Those with an internal locus of control attribute the success or failure of events in their life down to their own control. So, I failed the exam as I didn't work hard enough. Whereas those with an external locus of control attribute their success and failure to external factors. So, I failed the exam because the invigilator kept walking up and down the room and distracted me. The narcissist will seek out those who have an external locus of control because they want someone who doesn't evaluate the situation from this internal perspective of how their own action can affect and alter their own life. It's all about finding someone who cares a lot about what other people think, someone who makes their decisions on the basis of how other people will react, which ensures that the narcissist not only remains the centre of your decision-making process, but they also remain in control. So if you believe that your decisions and actions are determined by the responses you will get from other people and not upon what you personally think and feel, it's easier for others to control and manipulate your behaviour. But it also allows you to place accountability of your life outside of your control. So, learning how to increase your internal locus of control will limit the impact that other people have on you, and it will help you to respond in the way that you want rather than in the way that you feel that you have to. Self-sacrificing. Being concerned with the needs of others more than your own is an honourable trait, but narcissists are drawn to people who are self-sacrificing. These are people who are willing to dedicate their whole lives to taking care of the narcissist's welfare and status. You see, narcissists aren't the least bit interested in how you feel and what you need. They just want someone who doesn't ask for or need anything in return for what they do. The narcissist doesn't believe that they should ever be the ones to move their plans or adjust to others. So they're going to be drawn to accommodating people who, back down easily and accept sudden changes and say nothing when they get put upon last minute. Narcissists want somebody who are easygoing and will go with the flow without a word of resistance, and this tells them that you will be the one to compromise and fit in with their life. For a narcissist, finding someone who puts themselves second is pure gold because there's only enough room on the top tier of the podium for that gold medal holder. So even though they may allow you to take silver or bronze position, as long as you are always behind them, they will always have the glory. But the narcissist is a really sore loser, so even if you do occasionally take first place or have this spotlight upon you every now and then, they just don't like it, and they will go out and seek ways to raise their game and do something to push you back down again. So it's often better to not even enter the competition with the narcissist. Allow them to take the glory, but on their own, whilst you move on and find someone else who is happy to share the recognition that you deserve. It's really important to note here that the traits that narcissists are attracted to are traits that we should all strive to have. But the difference and underlying theme that makes someone, a narcissist magnet is having these traits in their extremity. It's about being overly forgiving, overly loyal, and totally selfless. So the solution isn't to give them up or change who you are. It's all about having the ability to not only decide when you need to exhibit these traits, but also who is a worthy recipient and how much of you they deserve. Don't forget to download my free book. The link is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a like and do share the video if you can. And if you haven't yet subscribed, well, this is the time to do it. Do take care, and I will see you all next time.